about the core that you guys have?
Well, we had a lot of guys that had good camps up in Dallas, and they should bring back that experience and help them become a better player here. Another year under their belt for Namath and Alexiak, that will really help them. Yoki Paka was good up in Dallas, and he's going to have to learn a little bit more about the professional game and what that takes. So you look at guys like Gauntz and Fortunas, they bring us real good experience and competitive nature, and Labrie is a competitor. So I feel good about our defensive core. They're working real hard and they're trying to become better.
Coach, when you talk about a young player like Yoki Paka, what is really the challenge for him in terms of transitioning beyond the obvious speed and strength of the players he's facing?
And you're right, obviously speed and strength, that's the first thing that stands out. You're playing with men, and he's played professional in Europe for well over 100 games, I know, but there's not that physicality that there is in North America. There's a little bit more space, so dealing in tight spaces, dealing with the quickness of play, how it gets on you, the forecheck, and also having the ability to make those plays real quick. So those will be his biggest adjustments.
Do you see defense being the strength of this team? That's kind of defense and goaltending is.
I see the strength of our team. I would expect it to be the character. That's what it was last year. We had a really good leadership group. Certainly we have some higher profile skilled players on the defense, but when push comes to shove, it's the things that happen from your leadership group, the character that's developed, the teamwork that's developed in the dressing room.
Good for you to see two guys make the opening roster for Dallas in Knott and Ben, who you worked with closely last year.
Yeah, it is nice to see. It's nice. We want them all to get up there, right? I mean, selfishly, that makes our team weaker when we lose players. But we want them to do as well as they can up there, and that's our job, is to get them to the NHL. And guys were really pleased. We showed a video of Luke Gazdik's opening night last night. We showed it to them this morning, and guys are really happy for him. And the self-realization that they're not that far away. It can't happen. 48 hours ago, Luke was put on waivers, and now he scores first goal in his first game. So that can't happen.
From your perspective as a former NHL defenseman, what is kind of a challenge does a player like Brett Ritchie pose, in terms of his physical package?
You're right. He's a big body. He is, and he's got a terrific shot. He's learning to kind of play at the pace that's expected here in the American Hockey League, and then also in the NHL. So players like that are very much a challenge. But you have to take away their time and space as much as you can. If you can't beat them physically, at least you can get on them like a dog on a bone, basically.
Is it almost easier juggling help work with 9 defensemen right now when at times last year we talked about the numbers were almost in the teens late in the year, the amount of defensemen you had in camp here?
It's the nature of our position here. We have an injury on our team or Dallas affects us. So you're always juggling with the lineup in and out. The defensemen, they practice with each other quite a bit. We juggle the pairs quite a bit. I'll juggle the lines or the pairings during a game for that reason. If they get stuck in a rut where they feel like they can only be comfortable with one partner, that's not going to help them in the long run. So we do a lot of juggling.
What does a guy like Ryan Button need to do to maybe stick, elevate? He's bounced back and forth between the AHL and the ECHL. What does he need to do?
I think it's for any young player, and he's still very much a young player. It's about confidence. He has the skills, has the skill set, and I look at him out here. He's come into a new situation. Of course, he wants to create a great impression, but he has some things to learn about our system in order to feel comfortable. And he also wants to get his game back to where he feels that he can, and that confidence level will come knowing that it's all right for him to basically push the envelope. Mistakes are going to happen. How he's going to react to that, both immediately and in long term, not think about and get it down too much. I think that's his biggest challenge.
Have you thought at all? Are you planning on maintaining 7D here or 8D with some of the flux that might happen in Dallas?
Well, a lot of it has to do with the situation. We get guys that might be banged up in Dallas, so they call up a guy for an emergency purpose. Do we call up someone from Idaho for a week or two, or do we go with a skinny roster? Those type of things. I don't know if there's any magic formula for that. We're kind of we're kind of at the whim of what happens with injuries both on our team and Dallas.
Thanks so much.